football on PlayOnSports.com. This is the PlayOnSports.com pregame show as we get you ready for a quarterfinal matchup of the 2012 Division III CIF North Coast Section Playoffs between the Annley Tigers and host Campolindo Cougars. I'm Alex Richmond, coming to you live from Moraga, California, on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's contest features a team from Sonoma County, the Annley Tigers, who are undefeated on the season and looking for their 12th straight victory tonight against the Cougars. And now for those Campolindo Cougars, coming off a season in which they went 14-1, losing the Division III state title game 21-16 to Washington Union, and they've really continued that success this year, surpassing all expectations and finishing with a 10-1 record and winning back-to-back league titles for the first time in school history. So with that said, let's talk about the Annley Tigers a little bit more. They really cruised through the league this year. They went 6-0 in the league, outscoring league opponents 331 to 146. A year ago, they were 6-5, and they're 11-0 on the season, looking for their 12th straight win. They've really improved on both sides of the ball. They score 50 points a game on offense and give up just about 11 points on defense. And a big factor, a big reason for their improvement is their offensive line. They have great sides on both offensive and defensive lines, but I kind of want to focus right now on their passing game. Their passing attack averages 224 yards a game. Darren Newman has fantastic numbers, completing almost 60% of his passes, 33 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Kieran Newell, number 4, the junior running back, and Janarik James, the sophomore running back, average over 7 yards a carry and are really going to be a big factor tonight against the Cougars. They are coming off a game in which they in which they ran for just under 50 yards against Tamalpais. So I think they'll be looking to get their running game going early to open up that pass. And now for Campolindo, who, like I just mentioned, have really surpassed all expectations. They had a magical season last year in which they lost the Division III state bowl game to Washington Union. And this year they've had to deal with a little bit of adversity on the field. Not a lot of returners, and they've had some injuries, most notably quarterback Brett Stevens. And so they've had to deal with that. Number 7, Andrew Zolantakis has taken over. This is going to be his 6th game, and he's got a 5-0 record as a starting quarterback at the varsity level. And a balanced attack from Campo tonight. Have some fantastic receivers in Matt Yakovlevich and a few good running backs, Nikki Aikawa, and a big loss for them was number 5, Mason Windat, who was the number 1 returning receiver from a year ago, who had 6 touchdowns. Connor Rosenbaum was their second leading rusher a season ago with 8 touchdowns on the season. So that's going to do it for our PlayOnSports.com pregame show. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a few moments. We have playoff football next on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And welcome back to a presentation of Friday Night Playoff Football here on PlayOnSports.com. We're at Campolindo High School in Moraga, California, just about ready to get underway here as Campolindo will receive the opening kick. And like we talked about in the pregame, Campolindo really doing a fantastic job this season after losing a number of key players, most notably Brett Stevens and Mason Windat, to injury. And Andrew Zolantakis has done a great job. And the Tigers, another great team, looking for their 12th straight win after going 6-5 just a year ago. So after a day where it really rained on and off, the rain has stopped here. It's a cool night here in Moraga, and Matt Yakovlevich, number 18, is back for the Campolindo Cougars, ready to receive this kick in this Division III quarter-final matchup. And we are underway. A short line drive kick picked up around the 25-yard line, coming to the middle of the field and taken down is number 20, Tyler Luckhurst. So that's where Campo is going to start, and junior Andrew Zolantakis will come out for the first time tonight. And talking with Coach Macy, he was the JV and varsity coach just a season ago, so he called all the plays for Andrew Zolantakis, and so it really helps with the continuity, him knowing the plays, having worked with Coach Macy before, and that's why he's had success so far, 5-0 as a starter, looking for his 6th victory tonight. Rye in motion to the far side, and Zolantakis on the give, and stacked up right away by a number of Tiger defenders. And that looked like John Santaguida on the carry for no gain. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Campolindo Cougars. This time a slot to the near side. And again, off the left side, this time a little bit of running room. And so it's going to be 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 7 for the Cougars. And that Tiger defense, so stingy. Only 11 points given up. A huge improvement from just a season ago. 4 receivers set for Campolindo on this 3rd down and 7 to bubble screen. And that pass is dropped. Justin Dunn, one of the Cougar star receivers, couldn't haul that one in. And so 4th down for Campolindo in their own territory. And they're going to kick this one away. And Justin Dunn, who couldn't haul in that pass for Campo, is back to kick. Kyle Lewis, the short man, and it looks like Dominic Carrasco is there to field the punt, and I believe that was Jannarg James, So a correction there, Jannarg James fielding that punt from Dunn. And here comes the Tiger high-power offense for the first time tonight, averaging over 220 yards through the air and over 150 on the ground, but last week held to 47 yards against Tamalpais in their win. So first offensive possession for the Tigers starts at their own 40-yard line. And Newman in the gun, looking left, and he's got a receiver across the 40. He's got some speed, and he might go the distance and tripped up. What a great touchdown-saving tackle. Great effort by a Campolindo defender, but the first play of the game, a long one to Aaron Maher, one of the leading receivers for the Tigers. His 44th reception of the game and a 58-yard completion for the Tigers inside the 5-yard line down to the 2. So 1st and goal, and what a big play there on a, looked like what a slant route. And Maher able to show his speed and break away from defenders, and a touchdown saving tackle made by that Campolindo defense, just getting him. And looks like that's going to be a touchdown, and it is. So a touchdown for the Tigers, and they get on the board first here in this NCS Division III quarterfinal game, and that's Kerr Johnson Jr., number 1 for the Tigers. So the Tigers did not waste any time striking first, and that slant route to Aaron Maher got them down inside the 5, and the PAT is up and good. So your score 7-0, 10:22 left in this opening quarter here at Campolindo High School. And the Tigers on the board with a 7-0 lead. That first possession for Campolindo ended in a punt, 2 running plays that really only got them about 3 yards, and an attempted passing play that was incomplete. That was to Justin Dunn, number 6. And so Andrew Zolantakis will go out for his second time tonight. And right now, Matt Yakovlevich back to receive. He had a 93-yard kickoff return last week in Campo's win against Terra Linda. So watch out for him. He's a dangerous return man and a fantastic receiver for the Cougars. And he's back standing at his own 10-yard line. Goes through his hands, picks it up inside the 10, about the 7. And coming to the near side, he's got a wall. He's got some room across the 40. Jumps over a Tiger and into Tigers territory. So that's what the Cougars needed right after that possession. That's what the Cougars needed right after that possession by the Tigers. And they're in Annaley territory to the 45-yard line. Nice return there. Yakovlevich showing some speed. And there's Yakovlevich to the bottom of your screen. The tight end, Petit, to the far side. Rye in motion. Aikawa right up the middle. And that defense for the Tigers doing a great job so far against the run tonight. Trent Ackerman, one of the Tigers in there on the stop. So Aikawa and Petit come out. Cougars looking at a 2nd down and 8 with 9:51 and counting in this first quarter. 4 receiver set. Zolantakis looking. Rye out there to the right side. And a nice little explosion of speed from him, getting close to the first down marker. And it depends on where the referees mark it. And it looks like it may be enough for a first down. We're going to have to see here, and it is. So 1st down and 10 for the Cougars. Zolantakis to Philip Rye. And so a new set of downs at the Tigers' 35-yard line. Offset eye from the Cougars. Zolantakis looking left. And that pass is incomplete. A nice defensive play made by Kyle Lewis, who's a fantastic running back for the Tigers as well. And that was Yakovlevich, their star receiver. Couldn't haul that one in. So that brings up a 2nd down and 10. And it looks like to me they're calling a lot of high percentage plays for Zolantakis. A lot of throws that are under 10 yards to get his confidence up. And that's what it looks like here in the early going. Yakovlevich again to the bottom of the screen. This time they're going to try the left side. And again, that Tiger defense not giving up much room on the inside. And that was John Santaguida on the run. And Dylan Mathias able to bring him down. So the Cougars again facing a 3rd down and 7, just like their first drive of the game. And this is an important down for the Cougars, looking to convert with 8:25 and counting left Zolantakis. Looks like he had a hard count on there. And that ball is intercepted. He wanted Philip Rye, but a defender stepped right in front. And I believe that's Ackerman again. It is. So the second time we've called his name tonight. And he takes that ball back out to the 40-yard line. And it looked like Zolantakis was just late on that throw. He had Rye and just threw it behind him. Rye was open on the slant. And Ackerman able to intercept that pass from Zolantakis. So a punt from the Cougars, and now an interception thrown by Andrew Zolantakis. And so that high-powered offense of the Tigers comes back out on the field. 4 receivers, and a back to Newman's left. Newman on the give, and the Tigers try out the left side. Kyle Lewis on the carry. Short gain from the senior. And a gain of 4. So second down and 6. This time Newman is under center. Tigers almost in plus territory here. Newman looking. He's going to go down. He lost the football. And they're calling that an incomplete pass. So the referees are saying his arm was going forward as he was getting hit. And that's going to bring up third down and 6 from the 44-yard line of the Tigers. Another 4 receiver set. We'll see the Tigers a lot in this spread type offense. They love to throw the ball around the field. And we saw them on that first possession. That long completion got them down inside the 5. And Newman is going to go down, sacked. And it looked like that was Petit, the tight end, playing some defense as well. Tyler Petit with the sack. Huge defensive play there from the Cougars. And so that's going to make it about a 4th and 15. And Aaron Maher is going to kick it away for the Tigers. And Matt Yaklovich back to receive at his own 30-yard line for the Cougars. Yaklovich with a big return, and he's not going to get a chance this time. Takes a Tiger bounce and gets inside the 20 and down at the 17-yard line. So a great bounce there for the Tigers. And that's where they're going to start, at the 17-yard line. Talking to Andrew Zolantakis yesterday at practice, talking about this is only his 5th career start, and he said he learned a lot from Brett Stevens. We'll get to more of that in a moment. Cougars again off the left side, and that is Santaguida again on the carry, and Xavi Ganella, the Tiger, in on the tackle. 7-0 the score. We're here in Moraga, California. This quarterfinal matchup between the Annalee Tigers and the Campolindo Cougars. The junior. And that's going to be a false start on Yaklovich, who is one of their top receivers. And Yaklovich there with the false start. And Zolantakis may have been going on a hard count there. They were working on their hard counts a lot at practice yesterday, going on the 2nd and 3rd goes, working a lot on that. And I've seen that early on so far, and maybe that was Yaklovich just forgetting the snap count. Zolantakis, pump fake, looking for Rye, and overshoots Rye. Rye had some trouble getting out of the arms of Jannard James, and there was a window there to hit him, just overthrown by the junior Zolantakis. So 3rd down and 12. This is the 3rd series for the Cougars, and the third down, 3rd and long 5:49 remaining in this opening quarter. 7-0, the Tigers in the lead. Zolantakis looking to three receivers to his right and just throws this one away as he was pressured by a Tiger defender. And that was Xavi Ganella again with the pressure. So Zolantakis looking to his right where they had three receivers. Nothing was there, and he just had to get rid of it before going down. So another punt coming up, and Justin Dunn back to kick. And Jannarg James, again, back deep, and he's going to get a chance to return this one from the 50-yard line, to the far side and down near the 40 of the Cougars. So the Tigers offense, who scores 50 points a game this year, and they've really improved from a season ago in which they scored 32 points and gave up 22. This year, they're scoring 50 and giving up just about 11. So here we go, that spread offense back out onto the field, trips to the near side, and Newman on the bubble screen to Dylan Mathias, and he gets out to the 45-yard line, gets down to the 45-yard line, I should say. 2nd down and 5. The Tigers doing a great job on their first series, and that's how they got on the board. Aaron Maher with a 58-yard reception that got them down inside the 5-yard line, and they punched it in from there to make this game 7-0. This time, the Tigers run it off to the left side, and that's Kyle Lewis with the carry. And gets close to the 30-yard line, down to the 31, it looks like, and they're going to move the chain. So a 1st down for the Tigers. And they're really doing a nice job moving the ball against this Campolindo defense. So 1st down and 10. James breaking a few tackles on the sweep. Kind of a fly sweep there to James, and a short gain from number 20, James. They're going to call that a gain of 3, so 2nd down and 7. Coming up on 4 minutes now. So the Tigers on the Cougars' 28-yard line. Another 4 receiver set with James to the left of Newman. Newman, he's got a receiver to his left. And that's caught. Are they going to call it a touchdown? They will. Touchdown, Tigers, and I think that's Aaron Maher again. What a catch. Great concentration from the receiver. And that was either Justin Dunn or Michael Samaniego who tipped that ball. But Aaron Maher able to haul that in after it was tipped by a Campolindo defender. What concentration on that play. And so the Tigers make that 14-0 as Jake Royer puts the PAT up and through. And as I get a better look, I believe that was Justin Dunn who tipped that ball, and Aaron Maher was able to come down with it. So Aaron Maher with another huge reception, and on the receiving end of that for a touchdown. Darren Newman, the quarterback for the Tigers, he's 3 of 4 for 97 yards and a score here in the early going. Still in the first quarter, 14-0. So the Tigers scoring on 2 of their 3 possessions, and Yakovlevich back again. It's a short kick taken at the 25-yard line, And out to the 36-yard line is Jack Davis. So Zolantakis back on again. And when I was talking to Zolantakis at practice yesterday, he really said he learned a lot from Brett Stevens. You know, if he said if I make a bad throw or a bad read, Stevens is there to let me know what I should have done. And he's learned a lot. He was called up in the playoffs last year in Campo's magical run, and he said he really got to see the speed of the game, and it really helps him for the situation tonight and the 5 previous games before this. That's a huge completion in plus territory inside the 45-yard line, and that is Hunter Rosenbaum, the wide receiver. So that's about the 3rd or 4th bubble screen we've seen tonight, and that one is complete, and that's got to get Zolantakis' confidence up just a little bit. They move the chains, and they're down to the Tigers' 36-yard line. 1st down and 10. Again, Rosenbaum to the outside and tackled at the 36-yard line. So 2 quick completions. And Zolantakis has got to be feeling a little bit better about this drive than the previous ones. The last one ending in an interception. So 2nd down and 3. Looks like a long 3 from the 36. Zolantakis again on a little swing pass. Caught, but a great defensive play made by Dylan Mathias. And on the receiving end of that was Justin Dunn. So we can see that they're trying to get their top receivers in the mix with these short little swing passes and slant routes. But Dunn unable to get any yards on that play as he had to kind of dive for that pass from Zolantakis. So a 3rd down and about 6 for the Cougars. Play action, Zolantakis rolling left, pressured. He's got Rye and complete. Rye inside the 20, making a move at the 15 and down to the 10-yard line. Phillip Rye. And a nice throw by Zolantakis going to his left, and he was pressured by a Tiger defender, and he had enough arm on that ball to get it out to Rye. And that was a 32-yard completion from Zolantakis to Rye. And the Cougars in business here at their own 10-yard line. Excuse me, at the 10-yard line of the Tigers, I should say. And they're calling it 1st and goal. Aikawa off the right. Short gain from Aikawa. And Mathias again on the stop for the Tigers. Aikawa and Yakovlevich coming out of the ball game. Excuse me, Rosenbaum. Yakovlevich is a receiver to the top of your screen. And a 4-receiver set. This time the fly sweep to the left side. There's some room there. But another great play by the Tigers. And that is Dylan Mathias again. So a 3rd down now from the 8-yard line. 3rd down and goal for the Cougars, who are looking to get on the board for the first time. Still in the first quarter here, coming up on a minute to go. 14-0 to score in this quarterfinal matchup in Division III. Another 4-receiver set. Dunn, the receiver in motion. A fade route to Rye, and a perfect throw by Zolantakis, and Campo gets on the board with a Phillip Rye touchdown. And a perfectly thrown ball by the junior quarterback, Andrew Zolantakis. Throwing it where only his receiver, Rye, could get it. And Rye was able to haul it in for the touchdown. And Antizana with the PAT good, also known on this Campolindo team as Cookie. So they said I could call him Cookie as well, so I might use that nickname against Ensenal. And Sonny and I called a fantastic Ensenal game earlier this year. If you're a high school football fan, you need to check out the Island Bowl, Alameda against Ensenal. Fantastic game, great atmosphere, about a couple thousand people there, maybe over 3,000, Sonny. Sonny's our producer tonight. He's shaking his head. He says about 3,000, maybe more. They stopped letting people into that game. Great atmosphere and great finish. And we got a great one on hand here, 14-7. The score, Campo getting on the board. Zolan Takas getting some confidence. The Cougars stringing together a nice drive there. And it looks like Aaron Maher and James are back. Maher's been the star tonight so far for the Tigers. This one, a pooch kick, and the Cougars on that one quickly. And a nice tackle. So it looked like they wanted to give their kick coverage team a chance to try to get that ball. And they weren't able to, but they were able to hold Aaron Maher and company inside the 30-yard line. And Joe Holden was down there first for the Cougars to make that stop. So Newman and company back to work now. James to Newman's left, and James gets his number called. Looks like a 2-yard gain on the play to make it 2nd down and 8. Now ticking under 30 seconds to go in this first quarter. And the Tigers love to spread the ball around, and we've seen a lot of 4-receiver sets so far tonight. Newman looking left, and he's got a receiver, but a nice hit there by number 9. That's Michael Samaniego, the sophomore, coming up and making a big hit to dislodge that ball from Kerr Johnson. Third down now, 3rd down and 8. So the Cougars have the Tigers just where they want them here on a 3rd down and long inside their own territory. Newman looking, a tunnel screen to Maher, and Maher gets close to the 1st down marker, running hard and breaking tackles, and he's a big wide receiver. He's got some size and he's got some speed, and that's enough for the 1st down. He was banging in there with some bodies and was able to sneak through the defense. They might call for a measurement here. It looked like they're about to move the chains, but we've come to the end of the first quarter. 14-7. The Annalee Tigers on top of the Cougars. Coming to you from Moraga, California. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. So Maher able to break some tackles and get enough for the 1st down on that 3rd down and 8. The Tigers at their own 41-yard line with Newman in the gun. Play action. Newman looking deep. He's got a receiver. And a nice play by the Campo defense. That's Jack Phipps. And Newman had Kerr Johnson, but that throw had a little bit too much air under it and was a little late. But Phipps able to get his hand in there and knock that ball away. 2nd down and 10. The second quarter just getting underway here. And Newman this time looking to his left side. That ball is complete. And out to the 49-yard line is Dylan Mathias. And Tyler Luckhurst, the Cougar, making that tackle. So the Tigers really showing that they like throwing the ball. Almost every play here has been a 4-receiver set. And now Newman checks to the sideline and telling his offensive line as there looks like they're changing the play here. Kyle Lewis goes to Newman's left side. And Lewis gets the call. That's enough for a first down. 5-yard gain on the play on what was third down and about 3. And so a first down for the Tigers in plus territory. The 47-yard line of the Cougars. Newman, he's got Maher, and Maher brought down. First one on the scene was Isaac Christian. Tyler Luckhurst was also there to make the stop. Maher having a nice game so far for the Tigers, with a 58-yard reception on the first series, and then a nice touchdown catch that was first tipped by a Campo defender, and he's able to haul in. Newman looking again deep, and this time he's got a receiver and overshoots him. That's the second time we've seen him try to go to Kerr Johnson, and the second time Johnson has beaten coverage, and that was Jack Phipps for the Cougars. First ball we saw to Johnson was underthrown and had a little too much air underneath it. Was thrown late, I should say. This one overthrown. Both times Newman had Johnson behind Jack Phipps. Third down and 4. Newman goes to the underneath receiver, and it looks like there might be holding here. Defended nicely. Defensive holding or pass interference. Jack Davis, the defender for the Cougars, and it's actually going to be holding against the Tigers. I thought maybe they got Davis on a hold against the receiver, but it was on the interior line. And so the Tigers will get backed up. And correction, they won't get backed up. It's going to be fourth down. So Campo declines the penalty, and the Tigers will go for it here on fourth down from the 41-yard line of Campolindo. 4-receiver set. Newman looking, pressured, steps up, and he gains a few yards, but he's going to go down. Connor McNally, the sophomore, on the stop, and they said McNally might get a few carries on offense. Player brought up from the JV squad. And a nice job there. So a turnover on downs from the Tigers. Under 10 minutes to go, 9:56 in this second quarter. And Zolan Takis, the junior quarterback, back to work for the Cougars. Zolan Takis pressured, comes to the near side, pass complete to Rosenbaum, and that's enough for a first down. 12-yard gain to Hunter Rosenbaum. So it looks like Andrew Zolantakis has been gaining confidence here. After they scored on that last drive, he hit a few Campo receivers and Now a first down to Rosenbaum. This time a sweep to the far side. And that's Isaac Christian. Tackle made by Chris Mann. And a gain of 1 there by Christian. So second down and 9. And Petit coming out, and number 28, Isaac Christian, started to come out, but he's back in the ball game now. Inside receiver to the far side, 4 receiver set. Quick throw to Rye. Rye makes a defender miss, and down to the 35-yard line, and he put the moves on Trent Ackerman. And Philip Rye with a nice reception, a 13-yard completion from Zolantakis to Rye at the 34-yard line of the Tigers. So Campo able to move the ball with ease here on this drive. Aikawa makes a defender miss and taken out. Looks like right near the 20-yard line. Aikawa a little back, but he's shifty and he's got some speed. He made a few Tiger defenders miss there. So these last 2 possessions for the Cougars, they're getting in a offensive rhythm here, able to score on the last possession and now moving the ball with ease, like I just mentioned. Petit, the tight end, to the left. And they're going to run Petit's way. That's Aikawa again. And that is a fumble and recovered by the Tigers. I couldn't see in that scrum over there, and I didn't really see a signal from an official, but Aikawa coughs it up there. And so just when Campolindo was inside the red zone, they give it up. Second turnover for the Cougars tonight. Coming up on 8 minutes to go until halftime. Newman looking to the near side. He's got a receiver, and that is Dylan Mathias, but there is a flag, and they might get Aaron Maher for holding. And so we'll have to see if they did indeed. And they got Maher for pass interference. So that is going to back the Tigers up after what was a nice completion on first down to Dylan Mathias. It's going to be second down now, as that's a loss of down. At least that's what the signal from the official was. And they change it there on the field. Coming up on 8 minutes now. Newman. Handoff up the middle to Kyle Lewis. And Lewis spinning off a tackle. And he gets out to the 26-yard line. Greg Weissler on the stop, but not before a nice gain, by Wilson. Coming up on 7 minutes now, after that run by Kyle Lewis. And a penalty flag on the field. Looks like that could be delay. Okay, so that was a timeout called. So we're going to go to a break real quick. We'll be back. 7:02, 14-7 the score. Tigers on top of the Cougars. And welcome back. And we're having some technical issues at the moment, so we apologize for that. But it's 3rd down and 2 from the 25-yard line of the Tigers. And a false start on the Tigers. And so now we welcome you back as the video component to our broadcast is back up here. 3rd down and 7, a false start from the Tigers. And the Cougars looking for a stop after Nikki Aikawa fumbled on the last Cougar possession. Aaron Maher, the receiver to the bottom of the screen, who's had a big night so far for the Tigers. Newman looking the other way, and he's got Matthias. Matthias cuts it up inside, and he's going to have enough for the first down, brought down by a host of Campolindo defenders. And it looked like Michael Samaniego was in on that stop. So a first down. And Darren Newman, he's 7 of 12 for 128 yards tonight and a touchdown. This time a run up the middle. And Wilson sneaking through. Lewis. Kyle Lewis. .11-yard run there. First down and 10 for the Tigers. And the Tigers picking up the pace here on offense. And it looked like a false start. And it looked like Andrew Walmer. There was movement on the right side of that line. And I believe it was number 70, Andrew Walmer. A little anxious on that play as the Tigers are picking up the pace, trying to tire out that Campo defense. Newman, near side, and he's got Dylan Mathias. Tyler Luckhurst on the tackle for the Cougars. Annalee in plus territory now as it's 2nd down and short. Newman scrambling to the far side. And he's got a receiver, that's Johnson. And Johnson able to turn it upfield and get to the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 39. Tigers continue with their no-huddle offense. And another 4-receiver set. Newman looking to the sideline. Looking downfield. And he's got a receiver. That's Dylan Mathias down to the 15-yard line. So Mathias and Maher really doing a number on this Campo defense early on. And able to get down to the 15-yard line. First down and 10 for the Tigers, up by 7. This time it's Lewis off the right side. A few nifty moves and gets down to the 5-yard line. That was Kyle Lewis. They marked him down at the 6. It's second down and 1 with 4:20 and counting. Play action from Newman, looking to his left, pressured, throws it away. And I thought he was going to throw it away, but he was pressured by Connor McNally and tried to complete it to one of his receivers just short. And so a nice job there by McNally, the sophomore. We've called his name a few times, called up for these playoffs, and he's done a fantastic job. Third down and 1. Newman under center. Right up the middle is Lewis. And the senior outside linebacker, Ryan Hooper, on the tackle. So first down and goal from the 5. And Lewis again. And he's got enough for the score. So the Tigers strike with 3 minutes and 48 seconds left until halftime. Up by 13. And that's Lewis's second touchdown run of the night. And that's the quarterback, Darren Newman, also kicking the PATs for the Tigers. So the Tigers up 2 touchdowns here in Moraga, California in this quarterfinal Division III CIF North Coast Section matchup. PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. So this time a pooch kick from the Tigers and fielded by McNally at the 26 and goes down right away. Tackle made by Isaac Kangas, I believe, for the Tigers. So the Cougars looking to get back on track here after fumbling their last possession. They were inside the Tiger 20-yard line. The junior, Zolantakis. Quick strike to the left side to Yakovlevich. And Yakovlevich, no room there as he's tackled right away. Second down in about 8. With 3:20 and counting until halftime. Zolantakis looking to the near side. He's got Rye and overshoots Rye. Rye has the lone touchdown of the night for the Cougars. And that time, Zolantakis a little too long for Rye. So 3rd down and 8 for the Cougars. And Justin Dunn, the receiver, at the bottom of your screen. Zolantakis. And he had Yakovlevich, just overshot him. Yakovlevich had snuck up the seam there, and just a little too much zip on that pass. And so the Cougars are going to have to punt with 3:03 remaining until halftime. Jannaric James, the deep man, and in front of him, Kyle Lewis. Lewis standing at midfield. And James muffs the punt and gets taken out. Luckily, Lewis was able to fall back on top of it. And that may have been Adam Ramoto with the hit. We have 2 19s on our roster, Joe Holden or Adam Ramoto. I'd love to give credit to whoever that was, so I'll say both their names as they're both wearing 19 tonight. So here comes that spread attack of the Tigers. Newman, and that's intercepted. And Newman was looking up the seam, picked off by Isaac Christian. And Newman was looking for Matthias again. And just overshot him there. So Campo back with the ball, the first turnover of the night. And Isaac Christian with the interception for the Cougars. At their own 45-yard line. In and out of the hands of Dunn. And that's the second time tonight we've seen Dunn unable to hang on to a pass from Zolantakis. Zolantakis. And it looks like we have a flag on the field on the far side at the 45-yard line. And it looks like it was a legal procedure. On Campolindo. So that'll back them up. Makes it a 2nd down and 15. The Tigers with a 14-point lead. Zolantakis, play action, rolls to his right, and complete to Petit, and a great throw as a Tiger defender, and that was Ackerman again, who just almost got his hands on it. It was thrown just over his hands, and Dylan Matthias was in plus territory now. 2:36 left in this second quarter. And Campo sets up a screen. That's Aikawa. But a nice play made by Xavi Ganella for no gain. So that brings up 2nd down and 10. Ganella doing a nice job recognizing that the Cougars were setting up a screen there. And tackling Nikki Aikawa right away for no gain. Two minutes left. This time Dunn, able to haul it in, makes a defender miss, and runs over another. And that's Matthias and Austin Clem making the stop. But not before a gain of about 9 yards. So that brings up 3rd down and 1 with 1:43 and counting until halftime. Four receiver set from the Cougars. Zolantakis looking, and he's going deep, and maybe a little miscommunication there as he overshot Hunter Rosenbaum. So Campo taking the shot there, knowing that they were going to go for it on 4th down, with it being 4th and 1 with 1:24 remaining. And that incompletion does stop the clock, so they don't have to burn any timeouts. 4th down and 1. And pushing forward is Santa Guida. And that's enough for the first down. So the Cougars get the first down. Ball right at the 35-yard line of the Tigers. And so the Cougars really looking to put some points on the board here going into halftime. With a minute and counting, and we have a timeout called by Coach Macy. So Campo doing a nice job on this drive, and Zolantakis has been very impressive. They found out that Campo, that is, the day before the Campo game, the day before the Las Lomas game, that Brett Stevens wasn't able to play, and Zolantakis had to step in, and he's done a fantastic job beating Las Lomas, Alhambra, Doherty Valley, Dublin, and Terra Linda in his first playoff game. And Zolantakis is 11-21 for 124 yards and a pick and a touchdown. That touchdown being to Philip Rye. And so Campo back to work here with just over a minute left from the 35-yard line of the Tigers. Zolantakis looking for Rye. And in and out of the hands of Rye. Rye defended by Kyle Lewis there. And that was actually a nice throw by Zolantakis. Kind of a back shoulder throw there. Rye went up for it, and Lewis had no idea that the ball was there. Rye just unable to hang on. And that stops the clock. 56 seconds, 2nd down and 10. Santa Guida, the lone back. Zolantakis, complete inside the 20. That's Yakovic. And Yakovic knocked out of bounds at around the 15-yard line, and that's Kyle Lewis on the stop for the Tigers. Another nice throw from Zolantakis. And like Coach Macy said, he had a lot of experience. Zolantakis at his throwing at the JV level. Coach Macy called all his plays. So it made the transition easy when Zolantakis had to step in for Brett Stevens. Zolantakis rolling. He's got Rye. Touchdown, Campo. Second for Rye and second throwing touchdown for Zolantakis. And a nice pitch and catch there from Zolantakis to Rye. So Christian Antizana. And Cookie puts it through. 21-14 the score. Campo down by 7 now with 43 seconds until halftime. And Coach Macy said they've kind of dubbed themselves the forgotten team. You know, last year's team had a magical run, and people really got attached to last year's team. The student body, the community, and this year, Coach Macy, when I was talking to him yesterday at practice, he said it was hard for people to get attached to this team. Even at the beginning of the season, there were not many returners, and then they had injuries. Brett Stevens only played about half the season. Mason Windat also got hurt. J.J. Ewing and Wesley Brumbaugh, who was the starting center. And it was just hard for people to rally around this team, but they've really surpassed all expectations. And this is more of a collective effort this year. As last year they had a number of stars on the team, and like I just said, they dubbed themselves the Forgotten Team, and last night after practice, they had a bonfire. They all bring a Duraflame log and spell out Forgotten. The week before, they spelled out Orphans, and so they like this underdog role in winning league back-to-back times for the first time in school history. A great accomplishment for them, and they lost one game on the season, losing to El Cerrito. And that's going to be a touchback. So a nice kick there, not even giving James a chance to return it. And that's Antizana again with his first touchback of the game. So the Tigers have 43 seconds to work with. And we've seen him move down the field fairly quickly. That first drive took one play to get inside the 5-yard line. They did have better field position, though. As they're at their own 20, Newman looking. They set up the screen to Lewis, and Lewis can't hang on. Tyler Luckhurst was in the area, along with McNally and Dunn. So if Lewis had been able to hang on, it didn't look like he was going anywhere, as there were 3 Campo defenders in the area. That incompletion stops the clock. 39 seconds left until half. Newman to Lewis. Lewis has some speed and some room, and out across the 40-yard line. That's Kyle Lewis hitting that hole hard and showing his speed. 22 yards on that carry for Kyle Lewis. And Lewis with 81 yards total in the game so far. Newman looking left, going deep into double coverage. That's Maher. And it looks like Maher, and they're going to call that incomplete. It looked like he had a chance to come down with it, and I thought he did, and that was Dunn, Justin Dunn, making a nice defensive play to break that one up. But Maher, an impressive receiver, as Newman threw that into double coverage, and Maher still went up and attempted to try to haul that one in. So now 15 seconds left until halftime. James to the left of Newman. Newman looking deep again. Put some air under this one into double coverage and knocked away. Jack Phipps and Samaniego back for the Cougars to defend that pass. 3rd down and 10 now, with only 8 seconds left. Third down and 10 from their own 41-yard line. This time they give to James. James making some Cougars miss. He's got some room. And down inside the Cougar 40-yard line. But time does expire. So that's the end of the first half. And hold on, we might be putting some time back on the clock, as the Tigers may have gotten a timeout. And they want 1 second, it looks like, back on the clock. So the coaching staff for the Tigers able to get a timeout. And they do put 1 second PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here. One second remaining until halftime. And the Cougars have 3 defenders standing at their own 20-yard line. And Jack Phipps is around the 20. Newman rolling left and throwing one up into the end zone, showing off his arm. And that one was tipped, and the Tigers may have had a chance at that one, but no one was in the area. So that's the end of the first half. At halftime, the Andley Tigers lead the Campolindo Cougars 21-14 in this quarterfinal matchup of the Division III NCS playoffs. We'll be back momentarily with our PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Friday night playoff football here on PlayOnSports.com as Campo comes back onto the field trailing 21-14 here in this Division III CAF North Coast section quarterfinal matchup against the Annalee Tigers. Just a scoring recap for you. The Tigers got on the board first after a Maher 58-yard reception got them down to the 2-yard line, and Kyle Lewis ran it in to put the Tigers up 7-0. Then it was Maher again with a big catch, and this time for a touchdown, making it 14-0. Campo got on the board after that for their first score of the game. Philip Rye with a TD catch. And then they scored again. And that was, Kyle Lewis scored for the Tigers to make it 21-7. And then Philip Rye scored again after Lewis had scored for Annalee to make it 21-14. And that's where we sit right now. Andrew Zolantakis, the quarterback for Campolindo, is 13-24 for 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And on the other side, Darren Newman, the quarterback for the Tigers, 10 of 21 for 175 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Kyle Lewis, the running back for the Tigers, has 81 yards on the ground. And the Cougars haven't got much going. Aikawa with 16 yards, and he leads the Cougars in their rushing attack. Through the first half, it took Campo a little while to get in an offensive rhythm, but then Zolantakis was completing some short passes to his receivers and able to get some confidence up and put the Cougars on the board, connecting with Rye twice. And Annalee really doing a nice job through the air, spreading out their formations and spreading out that defense, and really using the pass to open up the run. They've been throwing the ball a lot out of 4 receiver sets, using 1 back. And this whole year, Campo's been used to being in this spot. They were counted out from the beginning of the year after losing in the state title game last year to Washington Union. And once Brett Stevens went down, who's one of the top quarterbacks in the state, after he went down, Zolantakis had to come in. And Zolantakis has done a nice job. And like I was talking about near the end of the first half, they're kind of the forgotten team, and that's what they've dubbed themselves. And talking with a few of their players, they just talking about the game plan for the Cougars and what Coach Macy has said to them. He's just said stick to the game plan and play with a sense of urgency. And we've seen that from Campo, able to cut the deficit to only 7 before halftime. And in the second half, I think Campo is going to have to continue to throw the ball, and Zolantakis has done a nice job. He's going to have to continue to drop back and make these short passes because their running game hasn't done much. They have, I believe, 23 yards on the ground. Make that 27 yards on the ground. And so I think they will stick to the pass here. They've had success with passing routes inside of 10 yards. And for the Tigers, I think they're going to continue what they've done in the first half, showing that they can throw the ball down the field with their big receivers in Aaron Maher and Dylan Matthias. So here we go, second half underway, and that is James inside his own 5, looking for some running room, cutting it back, and taken down. A nice hit by Tyler Luckhurst. And so that's where the Tigers will start this third quarter, up by 7. And the Tigers 11-0 on the season, really breezing through their schedule, not having really any tough games. The closest game was against Miramani, where it was 41-34. All other games have been blowouts. They were 6-0 in league and took care of all their league opponents. Lewis, nice run on first down, and the tackle made by C.J. Tui. And C.J. Tui goes both ways for the Cougars. More on him in a minute. 2nd down and 5. Newman looking, and he's got Matthias for the first down. Tackle made by Isaac Christian, who had the interception in the second quarter. And so back to C.J. Tui. I was talking to him at practice yesterday, and he's a senior offensive and defensive lineman, and he said, I was asking him about, how starting the playoff, each game can be your last, and he says you just kind of have to hold on to the moment, and that's Lewis off the right side, and he just says you have to hold on to it while you can. You got to cherish it, and you're not going to get everyone back together again. So you need to go out there and execute and play with a sense of urgency. That's a 7-yard carry from Lewis to make it 2nd down and 3. And the Tigers at their own 45-yard line. James looked like a zone read play there as Newman decided to hand it to James. Gain of 5 yards and enough for a Tigers first down. 10:27 and counting in this third quarter. And the Tigers right at midfield. James is going to get it again. And this time the Tigers now inside plus territory. Gain of 6 yards down to the 44-yard line. So the spread offense for the Tigers really opening up some holes. They've been throwing the ball so much, now they're able to get James and Lewis some space inside. This time Lewis off the right side. He's got some room inside the 30-yard line. He's taken down by, it looked like Tui was on that tackle. And also Michael Samaniego, the sophomore safety. So a new set of downs for the Tigers. 3 receivers to the near side. Newman, Matthias, and a nice tackle made by Luckhurst. But not after Matthias gained a few yards, and he might be slow to get up. And he is shaken up on the play. You can see him there right by the official, bending over, maybe stretching a bit. And now he goes down as they call an injury timeout here. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. So Dylan Matthias able to get off under without any assistance. So the Tigers looking at a 2nd down and 8 now from the 27 of Campolindo. Aaron Maher, the receiver at the bottom of the screen, guarded by Jack Phipps. Newman looking Maher's way. Now he's got to scramble out of the pocket and throws it in the vicinity of James, but out of bounds. Really looked like he was just throwing it away more than anything else. And pressured by J.D. McPhee, the senior. So now the Tigers facing a 3rd down and 8. Four receiver set with Lewis to the right of Newman. Newman looking Maher's way, and he's got him. And Aaron Maher having a fantastic night, and when they needed that conversion there, Newman went his way, and he was guarded by Justin Dunn. And Newman just a big body receiver with some speed. And so they convert for the first down. They're at the 12-yard line. Coming up on 8 minutes in this third quarter. Newman out to James to the right side. And James gains a couple and then tackled by a number of Cougar defenders. Gain of 2 yards. And James again snuffed out by that Campo defense. Greg Weisler, one of the players in on that stop. So it's 3rd and 6. James had gained a few more yards on first down, making it a 3rd down and 6. Newman. He's got Lewis. And a nice play by Luckhurst, making the tackle right away. So it's going to force a 4th down and 6 here. And it looks like the Tigers are going to attempt a field goal here. And the kick is up and good. That's Darren Newman, the quarterback. So that's a 23-yard field goal. And the Tigers are up 10 now with 6:02 remaining in this third quarter. So Campolindo able to hold the Tigers to a field goal there. But they need to get back out on the field and into an offensive rhythm. And we'll have to see Andrew Zolantakis back at work. And Lewis is now over 100 yards on the night, 107 in the game for Tyler Lewis. And kickoff specialist, he's the field goal kicker, he's the quarterback. And so he's waiting for the signal to get the okay to kick off. And Yakovlevich is back at his own 15-yard line, awaiting the kick from Newman. And a pooch kick from Newman, and that's Hooper fielding the kick at the 32 and going out at the 36-yard line. And so Campolindo and Andrew Zolantakis back out onto the field. Philip Rye, the receiver with 2 touchdowns for the Cougars at the top of the screen. This time the give off the left side. And that is Isaac Christian, the ball carrier. Short gain on first down. And the Tigers haven't really given much running room to the Cougars tonight. They've really had to fight for it. Offset eye. Zolantakis on the play action. They set up a screen to the near side. And out across the 50 with some room. And I believe that's Adam Ramoto, 13-yard on the screen pass. And we had 2 number 19s, but I believe Adam Ramoto changed to 31. So after that 13-yard pickup, it's first down and 10 for the Cougars. Yakovlevich, the receiver to the far side. Rye at the bottom of the screen. And again, for the second time, getting his number called, that's Ramoto. Makes it a second down. Second down and 7 for the Cougars. And so the Cougars doing a nice job here on this drive. Moving the ball. They're in plus territory. There is Rye, the receiver at the bottom of your screen, number 2. Petit, the tight end, number 8, to the near side. Play action from Zolantakis under pressure, and he's going to go down. And that is Jacob Hicks with the sack for the Tigers, who pushes Campolindo right back to midfield. 3:40 and counting, and a 10-point lead for the Tigers in this quarterfinal matchup. The winner of this game will play the winner of the El Cerrito Bishop O'Dowd game on the 23rd. And we have a timeout called by the Cougars, using their first timeout of the second half. And this will be a crucial third down for the Cougars. And one that they really need to convert. They're looking to put points up on the board. The Tigers came out after halftime and drove down the field with ease, but were held to a field goal. And you really need to score against this high-powered offense of the Tigers, averaging 50 points a game, putting up over 220 through the air, over 150 on the ground. And a defense that has improved as well, only giving up 11 points a game. And a year ago, they were giving up 22. So they've cut that in half this year. And a big reason for that is their line play. They have great size on both their offensive and defensive line. So a third down and long. Zolantakis under center, drops back, looking for Rye, and he's got Rye, and that looks like it's going to be enough for the first down on a nice comebacker. And Rye having a great night tonight. 2 touchdowns and a huge conversion there for a 15-yard pickup and a first down. So Zolantakis nearing 300 yards through the air on the night. 200 yards. 183 is his total. Zolantakis pump fakes, And that pass is incomplete, intended for Hunter Rosenbaum. Second down and 10. As the Cougars are at the 35-yard line of the Tigers. Dunn and Rosenbaum come out for the Cougars. 4 receivers set. And there's that big tight end, Petit, on the right side, number 8. And there's some movement. Looked like that was Tui, number 74, who moved. And it was just a slight movement, nothing big, but just flinched a little bit and enough to draw a flag. So that pushes them back 5 yards. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in this third quarter. And that hurts the Cougars on a drive where they must put some sort of points on the board, whether that be a touchdown or a field goal. Zolantakis looking deep to the left side. He's got Yakovlevich, and Yakovlevich making a defender miss, still on his feet inside the 10, and he's going to score. And there is the big-time receiver with a big-time reception of 40 yards and a touchdown, making defenders miss, able to stay on his feet and getting in the end zone. So now, and a fantastic reception by Matt Yakovlevich. And there was a question for a moment if that was a touchdown or not, but he was able to stay on his feet, and he almost used the ball to help keep himself up, keep himself from falling. And that's Cookie with the extra point. Christian Antizana puts the PAT through, and it's a 3-point game. And Campo, been in this position all year, been the underdogs, but they've been on top of the DFAL for the second straight year and looking for that second straight NCS title, trying to get past the Tigers in this quarter-final matchup. So the junior, Zolantakis, with now over 200 yards. I was getting a little ahead of myself there, saying over 300. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns, 223 yards on 16 of 28, and 1 interception. So Campo doing it through the air tonight, as they haven't had success running the ball. And Antizana will be kicking off for the Cougars, and James and Maher. And we've called Maher's name a number of times tonight. A few big receptions. He had the first reception of the game for 58 yards. And he's got a touchdown catch as well. So 3 minutes left in this third quarter. And I'm not sure what the delay is here, but one of the officials talking to the Tigers sideline. And it looks like now we're ready to go. So Antizana backs it up to the 25. And that brings Maher and James up. So they're going to have a chance for a return here And both those return men for the Tigers have speed, both James and Maher. Maher's got the size and speed. Very big receiver for the Tigers. So here goes Antizana. And a lot of leg behind that kick. A line drive. Maher has to go inside his own 10-yard line to get it. And taken down near the 30-yard line. First down and 10 to go. As Annalee comes back onto the field. And a 4-receiver set like we've seen many times tonight. And it's Lewis going nowhere on that first down carry. No gain. As they say, his forward progress was stopped, and he's marked down at the 30-yard line. So second down and 10 for those Tigers. They stay in the 4-receiver set. Lewis, play action. And Newman complete to Matthias, and Jack Phipps on the tackle for the Campolindo Cougars. Closing in on 2 minutes left in quarter number 3. So Campolindo looking for a stop here. Third down and 4. From the 37-yard line. Newman, and before the snap, there was a flag, and they're going to push the Tigers back. False start on Annalee. And so that makes it a third down and long now, third down and 9. Lewis to the right of Newman. Newman looking deep. A lot of air under this one. And that pass is complete, I believe, and it is. And that is Kerr Johnson. And that's a 30-yard reception. I think on that throw there, Newman benefited from putting a lot of air under it because the defender was just running with Johnson, and Johnson was able to stop and come back for the ball, making a nice catch. So first down and 10. And Lewis gets the call, short gain, and it starts to mist here in Moraga. Fans starting to pull out their umbrellas. Under a minute now, 50 seconds to go in this third quarter. With that throw, the Tigers in plus territory, and that's Johnson's first reception of the game. We've seen Newman go to him a few times, but this time they connect. Matthias in motion. And Lewis gets his number called again, but stuffed right away. And Jack Davis was the first Cougar there on the stop, number 10. .15 seconds left in this third quarter. 24-21 your score. The Tigers up 3. And it looks like the Tigers are going to decide just to run out the clock here and go to the fourth quarter with the ball at the 33-yard line of Campolindo. PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll tell you about that in a moment. Check us out, and check out our website, too, as we have a number of games every week. And so we're on Facebook, on Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. And you can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. And start of the fourth quarter here from Moraga, California at Campolindo High School. The Cougars down 3. Tigers with the ball, and that pass is complete to Dylan Mathias. And down to the 24-yard line. That's going to move the chains. 9 yards on that pitch and catch from Newman to Mathias. And this time, zone read. The give is to James. And James with a few yards down to the 20. Gain of 4. Second down and 6. Coming up on 11 minutes now. The fake to James. Newman looking for the end zone. Overshoots his receiver. And in and out of the hands of Samaniego. He had a chance for an interception there. Unable to hang on. And Michael Samaniego, the sophomore, wanted that one to stay in his grasp as he just lost it at the last moment before hitting the ground. So Luckhurst is going to come off defensively for the Cougars, and Phipps is going to be on guarding Johnson. That's Kerr Johnson at the bottom of your screen for the Tigers, number 1. And the fake to Mathias, and that's Maher, the big receiver for the Tigers. Brought down by Dunn. And I believe Zach Ramoto also on the stop. And talking to Ramoto yesterday, he wanted me to call him Butters. That's what his teammates call him. So Butters in on that stop. He made sure I wrote it down too. He wanted me to call him Butters and made sure that I wrote it down next to his name on the roster. 10:39 and counting. This time 3 backs in the backfield, but Campo into the backfield and stopping Lewis. Ryan Hooper in on that stop, along with Jack Davis and a few other Campo defenders. Second down for the Tigers. And Campo looking to hold the Tigers to another field goal here. Newman looking for Maher. Some contact. And I think they're going to get Ramoto for pass interference. When you have a receiver that big, it's hard to try, not to hold him and push him around. And I think Ramoto had too much of the jersey there on Aaron Maher. And that's, I believe, is what they're going to call. And they do. And so first and goal for Annalee. 2 backs in the backfield. Lewis, and he stopped right away. Greg Weissler on the stop. And we haven't seen that formation very often from the Tigers, as Newman was under center and there are 2 backs in the backfield. And they're going to stick with it here. James is the deep back and Matthias the fullback, but they're going to throw off that and right through the hands of Johnson. And Newman knew he had him, but Johnson, that ball got on Johnson in a hurry, but was catchable. Defended by Jack Phipps. .9:21 left in this quarterfinal matchup. Both these teams with fantastic seasons. The Tigers looking for their 12th straight victory, and the Cougars looking to go 11-1. So a big 3rd down and goal. James to the right of Newman. Newman looking. He's got a receiver. And Johnson in for the score. Johnson's first reception, second reception, first touchdown reception of the game, and it's 6 yards from Newman to Johnson. So 9:15 left in this game as the Tigers look to go up 10 here if Newman can convert this PAT, and he puts it through. So the Tigers back to a 10-point lead, and the Cougars have their work cut out for them here with 9 minutes and 15 seconds left, down 10 here at home in Moraga, California. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here. Darren Newman kicking off for the Tigers. And another pooch kick. And bobbled and then out of. Hooper was able to pick that up. I thought it went out of bounds off the hands of Zach Ramoto, but Ryan Hooper, number 44, able to pick that up. And so it's going to be first down and 10 for the Cougars. From the 33-yard line. Tigers send some pressure. Zolantakis looking for Yaklovich, and in and out of the hands. He had him. And Maher's on the coverage, making big plays on both sides of the ball tonight. So incomplete. To Yaklovich there. So it's a second down and 10. This time the swing pass complete across the 40 and out to the 45-yard line is Justin Dunn. 12-yard reception that moves the sticks with 9 minutes to go in the game. Zolantakis having a nice night, 17-31 for 235, 3 touchdowns and a pick. But he'd like to end this game with a W. The ball pops out, and it looks like Campo, luckily, is able to fall back on top of it. And that was Philip Rye as he kind of limps back to the huddle. So smart heads-up play from him. So he was able to fall on the football. 2nd and 6 from the 49-yard line. Christian in motion. Zolantakis pressured, spins out of it, and now he's going to go down back at his own 45-yard line. So a loss of 4 on the play. And a number of Tiger defenders in on that. One of them being Zavi Ganella, number 34, who's having a nice game on the defensive side of the ball, the linebacker for the Tigers. So we're ticking under 8 minutes now. 10-point lead for the Tigers. And Rye is the lone receiver to the bottom of the screen. Zolantakis looking Rye's way. He's got him. Pass complete across the 40. Down to the 30. Rye's got some room. He's got speed. And is he in? And they're calling him out. Pushed out by Aaron Maher. So Philip Rye having a fantastic game. A 54-yard reception from Zolantakis to Rye. And that's his go-to receiver tonight. Philip Rye with 2 touchdowns. And having a big game so far on the receiving end of things. And so the Cougars back in business here. 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. And the give inside to Santa Guida. And he's in for the score. Campo gets on the board with 7:25 left. So John Santaguida, number 25, in for the score for Campolindo. And Christian Antizana on the field to attempt the PAT for the Cougars. PAT is up and good, and a good job there by Justin Dunn, able to get that snap down. And so it's back to a 3-point game now. And Andrew Zolantakis, AZ, has been very impressive tonight. 3 touchdowns through the air, 18 completions, and 1 interception. .289 through the air for Zolantakis as well. So Cookie back out to kick this one off for Campolindo. In this quarterfinal matchup, these teams are in the Division III bracket of the CIF North Coast Section playoffs. The winner of this game goes on to play the winner of Bishop O'Dowd El Cerrito on the 23rd. And Campo hanging in this ballgame, the forgotten team as they've dubbed themselves. Really doing a nice job. They had some turnovers early on, but their defense has played well, forced a few field goals. Forced 1 field goal, And James not going to get a chance to bring this one out. So the ball is going to be brought out to the 20-yard line. And that is where the Tigers will start this possession with 7:25 remaining. So we'll see if the Tigers can continue to move the ball with this high-powered offense. As these last few possessions, they've been able to move the ball with ease up and down the field. And they've been in this formation so many times tonight. A 4-receiver set with the lone back to Newman's right, play action. Matthias, and a huge hit put on that stunned him, really. And that was Luckhurst, I believe, on the far side. And it was. So no gain on that play. Maybe even a loss. We're going to call it second down and 11 with 6:50 and counting. And the Tigers back in that 4-receiver set. And that's the running back, Lewis, back with Newman. Newman looking deep for Maher. And Maher's got some space. And that pass is complete. And Maher is going to get in for the touchdown. 80-yard pitch and catch. And Maher is just too big for those Campo defenders. Tyler Luckhurst was on his back, but he couldn't do much as Maher has quite a bit of size advantage on the defender Luckhurst. And Luckhurst got beat on that play. And so the Tigers looking to go up 10 here if Newman can put this PAT up and through. And some pressure there from Hooper, but Newman able to put the PAT up in good. 10-point lead with 6:27 remaining. And a fantastic catch there by Aaron Maher as he was looking back for that ball, able to haul that one in and run 80 yards for the score. His second touchdown catch, and that was an 80-yard pitch and catch. So 351 yards for Newman, 22 of 37, 3 touchdowns and a pick. And like I just mentioned, Maher is on the receiving end of 2 of those 3 touchdowns. The other, Kerr Johnson. So the Cougars have been down 10 before in this game, and they responded with a touchdown last time, and they're not going to go away. They're going to fight to the finish. And Zolantakis is going to have to go back to work here and start spreading the ball around like he has, and he's been really locking on Philip Rye, and Rye's been able to get open, and he's got 2 scores of his own. And some big catches, a big third down conversion on a 3rd and 14. He got 15 yards. And he had a 54-yard reception on their last possession that got them down to the 1-yard line. So Newman, another pooch kick, the third we've seen from him. And Davis pitches it back to Hoffman, and Hoffman takes it out across the 30, close to the 35-yard line. They will mark him at the 35, I believe. So that's Ryan Hoffman, who's coming off an injury. We haven't seen him much tonight. Coach Macy said we might see him a little bit. We saw him getting warmed up on the sideline, and he gets to carry the ball there on that kick return. Ball's at the 34, 1st and 10. Christian in motion. And that pass is complete to Petit. And inside to Tiger territory, down to the 43-yard line. Maher on the stop, and a nice completion from Zolantakis to Petit. 23-yard reception for Petit. So 6:15 and counting. Tigers up 10. Campo trying to pick up the pace here on offense. That's Christian again in motion. This time Zolantakis setting up the screen to Christian. Christian has it across the 40. He's got some room. And enough for a first down. And he's down at the 30-yard line. 12-yard screen pass. And so that'll move the chains for the Cougars. Zolantakis avoids pressure, throws downfield, and that's incomplete. Looking for Rye again, but Zolantakis did a good job, able to avoid that sack there as he kind of just sidestepped the defender, and he's doing a nice job. He's got some good pocket presence, keeping his eyes downfield and shuffling his feet in the pocket, avoiding defenders. Second down and 10. That's done in motion. Looking Rye's way into coverage. And that was an ill-advised pass, as there were a few Tiger defenders over there. Zolantakis was looking for Rye, and that's Kyle Lewis defending that pass from Zolantakis to Rye. So it continues to drizzle here in Moraga. And the Cougars face a third down and 10. Zolantakis. And he's got a receiver wide open inside the 10 and down in for the touchdown. I thought they might have called him down at the 1, but a great job by Hunter Rosenbaum. A 31-yard touchdown reception. And Rosenbaum able to get in, and Zolantakis is very impressive. Was very impressive on that drive and has been tonight. And that's Rosenbaum able to run through a few defenders there and get in for the score as he was falling over. I thought they may call him down at the 1, but he was able to get in and break the plane. Antizana, and that's blocked, and that is huge. Andrew Wolmer blocks the PAT from Antizana. And so now it's a 4-point game instead of 3. And that is a huge play from the Tigers special teams. So with that touchdown pass, Zolantakis is now 21 of 36 for 355 yards and 4 touchdowns and a pick. And that is very impressive. Only his 7th, his 6th start and his 2nd playoff start. And he did have some experience as a receiver, but not as a starting quarterback at the varsity level. Came in against Las Lomas earlier in the season, won that game, and went on to win the next 5, including that game, and looking for a win tonight in what is the quarterfinals against the Tigers. So the crowd back into it now. Antizana with a booming kick, and that's going to keep James from coming out as he kicks that into the end zone. So a 4-point lead with 5:22 remaining in the fourth quarter. Last time the Tigers were on the field, they were on the 20-yard line, and it was Newman to Maher for an 80-yard touchdown reception that put them up 10 until Campo was able to answer right back. The PAT was blocked, and here we go again. And that ball smartly picked up, but it's an incomplete pass. Dunn doing a nice job just making sure it wasn't a backwards pass, so we decided to pick that one up. And for the first time tonight, I see Zolantakis coming onto the field. The quarterback playing some safety. Maybe they want to get some size out there to defend against Maher. So Zolantakis is the far defender standing at his 30. And that pass, incomplete. And that was Newman overshooting Dylan Mathias. Third down and long. And the Tigers have been in this situation tonight and converted. We'll see if the Cougars can answer here with a stop. So 3rd down and 10, 5:16 remaining. Newman looking Maher's way, and he overshoots Matthias. That's going to force a punt, so the Campo defense doing their job there. And they will force a punt, and they will get the ball back with 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go. And Matt Yakovlevich, number 18, at midfield, and he's a dangerous return man. He had a 93-yard kickoff return last week against Terra Linda. So if he gets a chance to return this one, he could put Campo in some good field position here as he's standing at midfield. And there's a flag on the play. And McNally got to that one, and he ran into the kicker, and that's going to be a penalty there. And so that ball is down at the 48-yard line, but Connor McNally, and it didn't look like he ran into him with much force. It was almost like he kind of just walked into him and then wanted to hold him up, but he couldn't. And the punter did maybe a nice acting job there as he fell over, and the flag came out right away. There were 2 flags on the play. So we'll see what the call is here, what the calls are. And we'll see what the first one is. I'm not sure. It was thrown right before the snap, or right as the snap was being made. So those penalties are going to offset, and they're going to re-kick. So there was an illegal procedure, a false start on the Tigers, and then there was running into the kicker, and those offset. So Campo catches a break there. And let's see if they can set up a return for Yakovlevich. Snap kind of high for Maher, gets it away, and Yakovlevich fields it, now drops it. And did they fall back on top of it? We'll have to see. It looked like there were some Tigers that were in there right away, but Campo able to fall back on top of it. And Yakovlevich has been struggling a little bit tonight on the offensive side of the ball, and that's Isaac Christian, who's had a nice game on both sides of the ball for the Cougars with a heads-up play, falling on that fumble. So Campo down 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. And the junior, AZ, Andrew Zolantakis, under center. That's Yakovlevich in motion. Quick throw to Dunn, and that is complete. And Dunn down to the 35-yard line. A quick hitter to Dunn on the slant pass. That's a 25-yard reception from Zolantakis to Justin Dunn. Clock is moving, 4:40 and counting. Ball on the 34-yard line of the Tigers, and Philip Rye is the receiver at the bottom of the screen. Zolantakis looking Rye's way and overshoots him there. So that stops the clock. 4:25 in this quarterfinal matchup. These teams in the Division III bracket. And so 2nd down and 10. That's Christian in motion again. The fake to Christian, the inside give. And that's Remoto. Gain of 4 yards on that carry for Adam Remoto. Petit just Christian is going to come out. Petit started to come out, but he's going to stay in the big tight end. He goes about 6'3", 220. And he's going to go to the right side. That's Yakovich and Rosenbaum. And the ball is fumbled, it looked like, and problem with the exchange there between the center and quarterback. But luckily, Zolantakis able to fall back on top of it. And that was a big mistake there as it's 4th down. So the only time we've seen that tonight, seen Zolantakis have a problem with the exchange. So 4th and 6, biggest play of the game here. 3:11 and counting in the contest. And there is a timeout on the field, Campolindo. Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. So the biggest play of the year here, I would say, for the Campolindo Cougars, and Coach Macy wanted to call timeout and make sure he's got the right personnel in and the right play drawn up, and I'd have the big tight end Petit in there, whether you're going to run or pass here. And 4th and 6, Zolantakis has been fantastic through the air tonight, and they've kind of had to abandon that running game the Cougars have. You know, they do like to spread it out, but talking to the coach yesterday, Coach Macy, it didn't seem like they were going to be very pass-heavy with their game plan, but they've had to go to the pass a lot. And Zolantakis has 370 through the air. And it's turned out, the passing game has turned out very positively for them. 4th down and 6. Zolantakis looking for Rye. He's got Rye. There's a little bit of holding, and they're going to get the pass interference. And that was Kyle Lewis. And you could see he was grabbing at Rye's jersey. Rye still had a chance to catch the ball. And when they've needed a conversion on 3rd or 4th down, they've gone to Rye. And Rye, that's the second time I've seen him limp back to the huddle. When he recovered that fumble at the 50-yard line, the one that Yakovich just fumbled, he came up limping from that and comes up limping again. It's a 1st down for the Cougars with 3 minutes remaining in the contest. And Rye has been so big tonight for the Cougars. There he is in motion. And the give. And again, the Tigers, nothing. Nothing on the ground. And Ganilla, again, we've called him a number of times tonight. And that looks like it was Hoffman in the game. So we saw him warming up earlier. And so Ryan Hoffman getting some carries now late in the game. And now he comes off. So does Petit, the tight end. And the clock continues to move here. 2:30 remaining. Campo has 1 timeout remaining. Annalee has all 3 of their timeouts. 2nd down and 9. Dunn, the motion man. Zolantakis tipped, and Rye had a chance at that, but could not catch it. And Zolantakis doing a nice job in the pocket there, not being fazed by any defenders coming up the middle, hanging in the pocket and throwing downfield, just kind of into some traffic there. And luckily it wasn't picked off, but Rye still had a chance at it after that tip. So that incompletion stops the clock with 2:14, 3rd down and 9. The Cougars already completed 1 4th down to keep this drive alive on a pass interference call. Zolantakis pressured, Gets out of one tackle. Gets out of two more, running to his left. And taken down. And Zolantakis really trying to do anything he could there. Did a nice job avoiding tacklers, but finally brought down by Jacob Hicks. A loss of 3 on the play. And so Campo will burn their last time out here as they're facing another 4th down. This time it's 4th and 9. So a little bit longer than the last 4th down that they were able to convert when Lewis interfield with Philip Rye. And so now Coach Macy talking to his players, talking to the forgotten team as they call themselves. A team that's never given up, no matter the circumstance. They've been through a lot this year in regard to their personnel. They lost some top players from last year. Lost some players this year to injury. Lost their quarterback this year about halfway through the season, and that's when Zolantakis came in and has really done a fantastic job for the Cougars. And so here they come back out onto the field. And they go trips to the far side. And the man to look at here is Philip Rye at the bottom of your screen, signaling with Zolantakis. They motion. Done over. Zolantakis dropping back. Looking Rye's way. And overshoots Rye. And you knew they were going to go to Rye. Rye had been so hot this game, getting open against these defenders, and Zolantakis having a good game himself, but unable to connect on that 4th down and 9. And so with no timeouts, they give the ball back to the Tigers with 1:49 remaining. And so you expect the Tigers not to do anything too fancy here. Keep the ball on the ground and try to run this clock out. And that's a penalty as they had too many men in the huddle. They actually called delay a game, but I saw 2 Tigers running off the field late. So either way, they're backed up 5 yards. Makes it 1st down and 15. And this time, Newman under center. On the give to Lewis, and Lewis across the 30, right out to the 30, excuse me. So that's Kyle Lewis. He's had a nice game tonight. 11-yard pickup. Second down and 4. And the clock continues to run. 1:18 and counting. And this time 3 backs in the backfield. Lewis again tries the left side. Short gain, close to the 1st down marker. But Campo can't do anything about that clock, and it continues to run now under a minute in this ball game. Third down and 1 for the Tigers. Looking to go 12-0 on the season. After a 6-5 record a year ago and going 3-3 in league, they have really dominated their league. And this year they've had 1 close game on the season. And it looks like they have enough for the 1st down there. And so they're going to run the clock out here. You expect a knee from them here. As they picked up that 1st down. And looks like the Tigers will be moving on and playing the winner of the Bishop O'Dowd El Cerrito game. And now they will take a knee. And that is going to do it. So the quarterfinal matchup between the Annalee Tigers and the Campolindo Cougars goes to the Tigers. They're victorious 38-34 here in Dublin, California. But stay with us. We'll be back momentarily with our PlayOnSports.com post-game show and our player of the game interview. So don't go anywhere. You've been watching a presentation of Friday Night Playoff Football here on PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And welcome back to our PlayOnSports.com postgame show. Division III quarterfinal matchup between the Annalee Tigers and the Campolindo Cougars. We're here with our player of the game, Aaron Maher, for the Tigers. 38-14, they defeated the Cougars. And 2 touchdowns for you tonight. First of all, congratulations, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Big game for Maher tonight. A 58-yard reception that got them down inside the 2, and they were able to punch it in from there. Then a 30-yard touchdown catch that was kind of bobbled there. You were able to hang on, and then a big 80-yard score. Great job on offense tonight. Also, you had some big plays on defense. You're playing both ways, and you guys really improved from last year. I mean, 12-0 this year. That's your 12th straight win. How were you guys able to improve this year from last year? I know you were 6-5 and 3-3 in league, and this year you just kind of ran through your league with no problem.
Well, obviously our league, we lost Windsor and Casa, although we really wish that we could have played them this year. But I think this year our senior leadership was a lot stronger than last year. I don't know, we came together and gelled more as a team. Everybody decided to put in the work way back in January, and we gelled as a team, and we set a goal at the very beginning, no regrets, 14-0, and we've just been trying to work to that. And this was a fantastic game. We knew it was going to be a battle. They really brought it to us, and, we just kept battling, hope for the best.
Yeah, let's go back to this game momentarily. What was the game plan for your offense? I mean, you guys average over 220 yards through the air, and what was the message in the game plan? Did the coach want to get you and Matthias the ball a lot right away and just kind of pick on those corners? So you guys have a big size advantage.
Definitely. Our right side is a little younger. We got 2 sophomores playing on the right side, and me and Dylan, both seniors, been through this a lot, been through playoffs. So I think they tried to get us the ball earlier, definitely, and try to pick on that cover 2 zone. We did a pretty good job. Had some mental mistakes, but other than that, we did all right.
Yeah, you guys did all right. Over unofficially 517 yards of offense for you guys tonight. So I'd say that's
definitely
all right.
In the rain, I definitely want to give props to Darren Newman for throwing the ball fantastic in the rain, really dropping it in.
Yeah, he had a great game tonight too. So you guys are going to be playing the winner of Bishop O'Dowd El Cerrito, the 23rd.
Yeah. Good
luck in that contest. Hopefully you guys can move to 13-0. So that's going to do it tonight for our interview with our player of the game. 38-34, the final score. The Annalee Tigers victorious over the Campolindo Cougars. Stay tuned as we're going to wrap up our postgame show here on PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And welcome back as we wrap up our post-game show here from Moraga, California. I'm Alex Richmond, and what a great game we saw tonight. The Annalee Tigers victorious over the Campolindo Cougars, 38-34, and a lot of offense tonight. 517 for the Tigers and 396 for the Cougars. And both quarterbacks absolutely fantastic through the air. For the home squad, Campolindo, Andrews Zolantakis, the junior, 22 of 39 for 370 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. And on the other side, the quarterback, Darren Newman, was 22 of 40 for 351 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. And that was something that, talking to Coach Macy yesterday, I didn't really think was going to be part of Campo's game plan tonight. But they really had to. They had to abandon the run after the Tigers did a fantastic job stopping that run time and time again. And I really don't think we saw a run over 10 yards tonight for Campo. So they had to go to that pass, and they never gave up. But the Tigers really just too much tonight, able to go up 10. Late in the game, Campo came back to cut it to 3 again, but the Tigers answered again. And a big reason for that was our player of the game, Aaron Maher, who we just talked with, and he had 2 touchdown catches, one of 30 yards and one of 80 yards. And that big 58-yard reception on the first series of the game that got them down to the 2 where Kyle Lewis ran it in from there. And this Campo team, they've been underdogs all year, and they never gave up. You know, they call themselves the forgotten team, but this team's not going to be forgotten, as their effort tonight was fantastic in this quarterfinal matchup, playing with a junior quarterback in his 6th game. And they've had to overcome a lot this year, losing their top players and injuries. And on the other side for the Tigers, running the table this year and moving to 12-0 and 6-0 in league after going 6-5. Like I was just talking with Maher about, they've really been able to come together as a unit and play well on both sides of the ball, averaging 50 points on offense and giving up 11 on defense. So the Annalee Tigers move on to the next round. That's going to be the semifinals in Division III, and they will be playing the winner of El Cerrito Bishop O'Dowd on the 23rd. So what a great game we saw tonight. And that's going to do it for our PlayOnSports.com post-game show from Moraga, California. Again, the final score, 38-34. And stay tuned next week for another presentation of Friday night playoff football here on PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.